You can download the asks in the video for free, link in the description. In Godot, you can use the await keyword to pause a function and stop its code until a specific signal is received by the node with the script. Then once the signal is received, the function will unpause and the code below the await will run. For example, we can await getTree.createTimer with timeout. GetTree will grab the core of the scene. CreateTimer will create a temporary timer node to the scene. 1.0 is the total wait time of this timer, which CreateTimer will automatically start the timer. Then we must put timeout, as that is the signal that we are awaiting for. Then once this timer finishes, the timeout signal will emit and Godot will allow the next lines of code to run. Alternatively, you can just use a regular timer node that already exists within the scene and again await its timeout signal. Or another example is awaiting for a press signal from a button, which is a signal that occurs when the button is pressed. Now in the case you have a loop that you want to run, which runs its code, then waits 1 second, then runs some more code, and then repeats, putting this inside the process or physics process function will not work. This is because the process and physics process function are running once on every process or physics frame, meaning that we are creating a new timer every single frame. And once the 1 second passes, we will be running the next line of code constantly, as all this await has done is create multiple backlog copies of the same code inside the process function. To fix this, you can create a custom function, which I will call loop with await. The name doesn't matter though. Then inside we will have a while loop checking true, meaning that this while loop will run forever and never stop. Then we put that code from before inside of this while loop, and we simply call this function once using the ready function. Or you can call this function anywhere else in your code, but just make sure that you don't constantly call this function over and over again, as it needs to be activated once. Otherwise, calling this function constantly will just recreate the same issue we had earlier with the process function. Although, with that being said, there can be some scenarios where you might want to use an await inside of the process function. For example, if we have a variable that states whether or not the player is dead, which is being used to run animation-related code only once whenever the player dies. First, we check if it's dead is true. Then we run our player's animation, then we await that animation finishing, and once the player's animation is finished, we can then run a scene transition animation, which will cause the scene to restart. And then we set isDead to false to ensure that this code only runs once. Now in this case of using await, you still need to be careful, as setting the isDead variable false at the end will cause the player's death animation to be called constantly until the finish signal occurs. So in this case, make sure you put the isDead equals false at the start of the code, so that way this code only runs once, similar to how we used the ready function earlier. Finally, an example of using await for a battle system inside of an auto battler style game. Inside of the logic for the battling system, we will create two variables, one for the player's health and another for the enemy's health. Then inside of the ready function, I will update the health bars appropriately, setting their max value and current value. We will then create two basically identical custom functions, one for the player's turn and one for the enemy's turn. Inside, we activate the respective attack animation. Then we use await to wait for the attack animation to finish. Then we subtract health from either the enemy or the player, based on whoever's turn it is. And we update that respective health bar with a new health amount. Then finally, I await a custom 0.12 second timer to give some extra breathing room or delay between turns. Now we can create the final custom function called begin battle, which will use a while loop like we did before, that will run constantly until either the player or the enemy dies. Then we use await on the functions for the player and enemy turns, causing the player's turn to occur. Then once it finishes, we will then activate the enemy's turn and wait for it before we continue the while loop. Additionally, in between, we must check for the enemy's health after the player's turn, as the while loop will only check if its conditions are true after all the code inside is activated. So to avoid running the enemy turn while the enemy is dead, we must do this check, and we do break, as break will stop the while loop but still allow the code below the while function to run, which this is where you would place any victory related code, such as announcing the winner of the battle, or increasing XP, or loading the next level or next battle. Finally, whenever we want to activate the battle, we can just call the begin battle function. Now you have an example of using await inside of an auto battler style game, as well as some basic use cases of the await keyword, which you can add to any of your Godot games. And don't forget that you can check out the project files, link in the description.